Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for Aries season. The water is a bit hot. It's a bit heated, isn't it? Especially when it comes around or pertaining to your relationships. There's a lot of things being said. A lot of encouragement, a lot of positivity. Also, a lot of standing your ground, and establishing boundaries. These are all things that are prepping you for Taurus season. And it's needing to have a bit more control when it comes to your inner connections. Okay? And that kind of control is not something that can be flashed or bribed with money. It's a quiet strength. It's one that needs you to think rather than feel. It's to be able to strategize how to come across in a way that affects others through logic, imagination, understanding, as opposed to doing things that would make people feel a certain way or intentional. All right? Aries season is asking you to think outside of the box, which is doable for you. You are a cardinal sign, just like Aries. So I tell Cancers, your moods are like the tides. There's high tide and then there's low tide, okay? Right now, you may be feeling that the tide has been high for a while. And there's so much energy that you want to set some fires. You want to create a little bit of steam. You want to create a little bit of heat even. But that Libra card in the full moon we had recently is telling you, no. The energy is only to build momentum. The action to take is through logic, compassion, consideration, something on a moral standing. Right? We got Justice in the Hierophant here. 2 signs, both ruled by Venus. Venus also just entered in Taurus. So this is a time right now where a lot of you are going to have to, here's the moon card, you're going to have to react or handle a situation that is a bit unexpected or a little bit of a surprise and go through a different route, an unusual way, something that people would never guess is coming. For some of you, it could be an opportunity of freeing yourself from something that's always kept you bound. It could have been some kind of familial obligation, restriction from your family, not being able to speak out about something or be able to tell a truth. Okay, I think you've come to realize that maybe just because like family is like with family, blood is not always thicker than water. Is that the phrase? I don't know. Essentially, what I mean is that people in your family haven't always supported you the way that you felt was fair and the way that you felt was deserving. And instead, I think you're coming to realize that perhaps relationships outside of family have always done more for you. Or it's needing to have gratitude for the connection that you have despite those that weren't there for you. Okay? Now, for others, you may experience a sudden breakup and ending in a relationship. Okay? And there will be an opportunity for you to lose out on money. Some of you could very well be going through a divorce, or you're part of the dynamic of the divorce, or it's affecting you somehow, even though it's not your divorce per se, but could be family members, but you really feel tied. Or perhaps for some of you, it's like, nope, been here before. I don't want to repeat this again. So there is a need to get out. Okay? There is a need to look for greener pastures. There's a need to reserve what you have, whether it's your money, whether it's your time, whether it's even your sanity even. That's also something you invest in, your health, your physical health, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on for you, Cancer. I feel like this is the first time I've done a reading where I'm seeing multiple situations happen in one general reading. Some of you are going through a divorce or being affected by someone's divorce. Others of you are realizing that family is not always like the value of support doesn't have to come from family, from blood, but instead through your community, your friendships, anywhere where you find security and stability in your connections that is outside blood. Okay? And others of you, it's just being able to be more balanced and reacting through a place that is a little more with logic and reason as opposed to just a feeling, okay, or an experience tied to that feeling. Sometimes Cancers, you guys, when you're upset about something or you're trying to make a sense of it, you shut down and you kind of hide back into the shell and you're reprocessing or reflecting on what happened. But the longer you stand in your shell or stay in your shell, you're not giving yourself or the people involved time and space to perhaps communicate or explain, because you just tend to see things from just your perspective and your perspective only. And sometimes that's only one side of the story. Okay? A Cancer moon once told me there's two sides to every story. So, do you follow that same logic? So this is what Libra and Taurus are both telling me right now, because the full moon was in Libra recently, last week, and Venus just entered Taurus a few days ago. Now we have to do things out of love, whether it is having love and gratitude for those that have been there for us, or having love for ourselves and being able to walk away and leave behind people and situations that constantly invalidate us and make us feel like we are not deserving of things. We are ostracized. And in a way, I think with Aries season, you should see that Aries is all about independence. So for some of you, I think you've kind of reached the end of your rope where you're tired of feeling bad about something, and instead you're just seeing this as a new perspective and a new way of getting out of something. Aries season is about freedom. Where in your life do you feel like you are here and you keep yourself posted when in actuality you're very free to walk away? The Hangman is in the reverse here. This guy is not hung upside down, he's right side up. Everyone, their opinion doesn't make sense. It's not logical, it's just reaction. There's no thought behind the opinions of these people. Some of you, it could be your internal family, right? So there's a balancing of your mind here that allows the mind and the heart to finally connect, because you always react out of a space of emotion. And this season is asking you, go with your instincts here. There's so many ways of doing this. The opinions of these people, do you really want to switch lives with them? If you don't, why are you allowing the opinions of others to hold so much value to who you are or where you are in life, or what you can and cannot do, Cancer? That is my question to you with the Six of Swords in the reverse here. This is about getting away from rocky waters into calmer, smoother waters. It's fluid. There's no drama. There's no tension here. But when it's in the reverse here, it's telling me that your confidence has been diminished by these people and your ability to allow it to happen. Your reasoning to allow their opinions of you to add much more value than what you have for yourself. Now, there is a difference between constructive criticism and just criticism for the sake of it, out of jealousy, out of envy, out of just people being miserable, right? So you have to learn the difference. If there are people trying to tell you, hey, you're being too much, then if you trust them and you know that they mean well, then yes, take what they say, process it, and do what you will. But if these are people that have constantly all your life made you feel small ever since you were a child, these are just people that obviously they don't have the freedom to do what they want, and you do, so they're trying to trap you. This is typical Aries energy. Aries deals with this all the time, sometimes even Scorpio. That's Mars energy. The drive, the passion, the will to do something. Not everyone has that. And if you're a Cancer with Aries placements, you have to figure out where in your birth chart this is affecting you. And if you need help, I read birth charts. So email me. But the only way you can turn this around is to be the emperor and to allow the energy of Aries season to get you out of these types of relationships that are just holding you back. It's time to be free. It's spring. We're blossoming. Okay? It's a whole new astrological year. And you will see that, or you probably feel it already. There is no illusion anymore. Okay? So that moon is going to take you on a ride. But I think you've been blinded by the opinions or the ideas, whether it is of society or what is expected for you or your role, that because you couldn't obtain it, you felt small and everyone else helped you feel like this. But no, you're just someone who likes to do their own thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Aries energy, again, is very independent, but it's also lonely at the top. To climb the mountain, not everyone can come, except for Capricorn maybe, because they're also mountain climbers, which is your opposite sign. They could provide stability in a more realistic approach, right? That gets used to. But if you understand how a Capricorn shows love, I think you could have a little more compassion and patience for them. All right, Cancer, let's move on. If you'd like a personal reading, my link is below. You can book it through my website, thewitchswitch.com. If you want an in-person reading with me, I do have events that I attend in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. Follow me on Instagram. I list all my events there. Some of my events are also on my website. All right. I also do virtual, so if you can't make it out to see me, let me know, book a reading on my website, and we can absolutely schedule one, okay? All right, let's move on. So, now, Cancer, you understand what's happening. You understand where you need to go. And now I'm starting to see a progression here because we go from the 10 of Pentacles to the 5. So it's like partially your value has been diminished, but it hasn't been stolen away entirely that you have nothing to work with, because now we go with the 7. So slowly you are taking how you value things and how you prioritize what your values are and putting it into something that provides more stability. It could be a job, it could be a business, it could be learning something, it could be having a new trade. It's something that brings investment, okay? Dividends even. And this is something that I feel that if you're not working on already, you're very private about it, right? You're just doing the work and being diligent. And I think also the reason why you're being so private is because you're so much in your head that I think you doubt yourself, or there's a limitation of where to go. But if there are people you trust, then share some of your experience, or a professional, and try to seek answers that way. Don't seek answers from people that you know are going to give you a hard time or make you feel like what you're doing will never work out. Instead, seek professional guidance. You don't have to do this alone, but in your mind, you feel like you have to, or I don't know if this is something you feel like you have to prove to yourself. So that's why you don't want to get anyone involved. And that's noble, but there are times where you're going to need to reach out because it becomes too much. Remember what I said, you end up hiding in the shell. I don't want you to hide in the shell and then you waste time or too much time goes by because you're just too busy. First of all, feeling like you'll never get to where you want to be, so the passion is not there, or the self-sabotage tendency to talk yourself out of completing things. Don't do that. All right? Reach for that olive branch. It's totally fine. And you will see. You can get so much out of it. All right? And we really need to stop caring what other people think. You take things way too personal, Cancer. Sometimes not everything is about you. Seriously. As an Aries, I'm very blunt. I will always keep it real with you. You guys take things too personal sometimes. And I've experienced this with Cancers, and it's like, bro, whatever misconception that you have, I literally had to do something, so I couldn't give you the attention, or I couldn't answer back, or, I did something that was intentional, but not in the ways that you think. So when you don't communicate and you keep to yourself, you have misconception of things. All right. And then you rob yourself of opportunities of establishing relationships with certain people that could actually benefit you. Right. So can we really start to get out of ourselves a little bit? Right. Detach a little bit and rebalance those scales. Okay. Just saying. All right, Cancer. I'm going to leave that there. Let's go into your oracle messages. Let's see. Things you should consider. Surrender. Like I said, we don't have to take everything personally. Surrender the shitty people in your life that really don't do anything for you, and yet you still keep them around for some reason. That's something to reflect on. And purity, right? Once you get yourself away from those that take from you, from those that burden you, the sense of peace and harmony you feel is going to feel like such pure bliss. It's something that you've never experienced before, and it's a sense of freedom that I think you realize you want to establish for the rest of your life. Okay? Because I think once you're very intuitive, right? When you're around certain people, you do pick up on their emotions. You do pick up on their intentions. Once you get away from negative people or entities or situations, you'll realize your energy is a lot purer and you can think more clearly. You can feel more clearly. And you can make decisions that are really beneficial. Okay? I think also people like to put doubt and make you feel like you have to stay in a certain perimeter. You're very limited. Aries season is telling you that's a lie. And Libra and Taurus here are saying, do everything out of love. Out of love, out of passion, attract the things that you want to you, but do it with pure energy. Pure space. Okay? Surrender what doesn't work and take in what does. All right, Cancer, very good. Love that for you. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in Taurus season. Bye.